Today's practice is a 50-minute yoga flow. Let's begin. Taking our hands from heart center and lifting them up to the sky, breathing in. Exhale, pull them down to heart center. Breathe into lift, maybe gaze goes up to your fingers. Exhale, lower them down. And one more time, breathe into lift. And exhale to lower. Good, now we're gonna take our left hand, I'm gonna mirror you, so left hand to the floor, right hand reaches up and over your head for a nice right side stretch. And then slowly lower that back down. Right hand plants, left hand lifts, stretching over your head. Good, and then slowly lower that down. Good, we'll take a little twist here, taking our right hand outside left leg, left fingers behind us, sit up nice and tall, breathe in. Exhale, twist to your left. Breathe in one more time, lengthening through your spine, crown of head reaches to the ceiling. Exhale, twist a little deeper. Good, breathe in, come back to center. We'll twist over to the right this time, left hand outside right leg, right fingertips behind you. Breathe and sit up nice and tall. Exhale, twist. Good, one more breath here, lengthen through your spine. Exhale, twist a little deeper. Good, breathe and come back to center. We're gonna switch our legs now. Whatever one was on top or in front, put the other one on top or in front. We're gonna walk the hands forward, stretching out the lower back. Good, just gently walking forward. And just pause here for a moment. Good, breathing in, lengthening through your spine, stretching your lumbar spine. Good, and then we'll slowly walk the hands over to the left. Maybe you take the right hand on top of the left. Find a deeper stretch. Try to keep those sits bones grounded. Good, and then we'll slowly walk them all the way over to the right. Left hand on top of right to deepen the stretch. Good, and then slowly come back to center. Good, and then walk them up. We're gonna take a Z-sit position next. So taking your left leg behind you, right leg stays about parallel to the front of your mat. We'll take that right hand down, stretch up and over. Good, and then we're gonna stretch the other way. Left hand down, right hand up and over. Good, and then come back to center. Good, and then we're gonna take that right hand down and maybe lift up, stretching through the front of your body. And lower down. And we'll do that one more time. Breathe into lift. Hand goes up, maybe hips go all the way up. And lower down. Good, we'll switch our Z-sit position so that the left leg is in front, right leg behind. Left hand down, right hand reaches up and over. And then slowly lower the right hand, left hand reaches up and over. Good, breathe in, left hand plants. Maybe you lift those hips, sweep that left hand up. And slowly lower it down. And we'll do that one more time. Breathe and lift. Stretch that front body. Exhale, lower it down. Good, we'll take our legs to regular Sukhasana position. We'll roll over our legs and come to hands and knees. Take a couple cat-cows here. Spread your fingers nice and wide so you can see those pie shapes between your fingers. Shoulders are right over your wrists. Hips are right over your knees. Breathe in, drop your belly, roll your shoulders back, lift your gaze, cow pose. Exhale, pull navel to spine as you round through your back, drop your head, cat pose. We'll take 2 more of these. Breathe in, drop your belly, lift your gaze. Exhale, round through your back. Each vertebrae makes its own little rounding here. And then one more time, breathe in, drop your belly, lift your gaze. Exhale, round through your back. Good. Breathe in, come back to neutral spine. We're going to come into gate pose next. We're going to take our left foot off the side of our mat, press into our left hand, extend through our right leg, and reach our right hand to the sky. Good. And then you can take your right hand and take it all the way over your ear. Good. You can stay right here or maybe play with lifting that right leg up, flexing through your foot. A little bit of a half moon supported here. Good. And then slowly lower it down. Bring that right hand back to the mat. Good. Pivot your left foot back, come back onto your right knee, and then we'll take that just on the other side. Pivot that right foot off the mat, press into that right hand, extend through that left leg, lift that left hand up to the sky. Maybe take it up and over your ear. Maybe play with this half moon, lifting that leg up, flexing through that foot. And exhale, lower it all down. Coming back to our tabletop position now. Good, we'll take a little spinal balance. We're gonna take that left hand and lift it up. Good, we're gonna extend that right leg back. Good, pausing here for a moment. Engaging your core. And then we'll take a couple of crunches here, elbow to knee if you'd like. Otherwise, just stay where you were. And breathe in and exhale. Breathe in, crunch. Exhale. And one more. Breathe in, crunch. And exhale, extend, hold, and slowly lower down. Good. Same thing on the other side. Extend the right arm, left leg. Holding here, engaging your core. Good. Breathe in. Stay right there, or 3 crunches, elbow to knee. Exhale. Breathe into crunch. Exhale. And one more. Breathe into crunch. And exhale, extend. Pause here. Slowly lower the right hand, left knee. We'll take the knees wide, come into a little child's pose, toes together if you can do that. Support yourself with a block if you need to. Otherwise, sits bones goes all the way back to the heels. Walk your hands forward and just rest your forehead on the mat. Maybe coming back to our intention here to breathe in the goodness of life and breathe out smiles and happiness and joy. Remembering that we can set our minds, choose to be happy if we let ourselves. Good. One more deep breath in and deep breath out. Good. Walk your hands back right under your shoulders. Come back up onto your knees, and we'll come into our first down dog. Tuck your toes, lift your hips to the sky. Spread those fingers nice and wide. Good. We'll pedal out our feet here. First down dog of the night. Good. Just really getting into the hamstrings here, and then settling into stillness. You can keep your knees a little bent here if you need to. Try to roll your upper arms to the outside, letting the eyes of your elbows shine forward, pressing your chest toward your thighs. Good, let your head hang heavy and relaxed here. Deep breath in, deep breath out. Good, one more deep breath in and deep breath out. Good, lift your right leg up and back. Let's rotate our ankles here, getting a little movement, flexibility. Good, and then we'll take our knee to nose, rolling our shoulders over our wrists. Exhale, reach your leg up and back. Good, one more just like that. Breathe in to roll forward, knee to nose. Exhale, lift that leg up and back. Good, breathe in this time. Bring that foot between your hands. Drop your back knee, and we'll lift our hands up, Anjaneyasana. Good, maybe the gaze goes up to the sky. Good, exhale, slowly lower them down. Good, tuck your toes, lift that knee, and we're gonna step that left foot out so that your stance is nice and wide, and lift your hands coming into warrior one. Good, hips should be shining forward here, knee right over the ankle. Roll your shoulders down and back. Good, deep breath in. We'll come into humble warrior now, so taking our hands behind our back, clasping our hands, lowering them as low as you can on your leg, opening through the chest, and then exhale, fold forward over that front leg. Maybe the fists lift up to the sky, bringing your right shoulder just toward your knee. Chest is just inside that knee. Good, deep breath in, deep breath out. One more deep breath in, deep breath out. Good, slowly lift yourself up. Raise those hands up to the sky one more time. Good, and then we're gonna come into Skandasana. So we're gonna pivot on that back foot and then bend into this front knee, coming all the way down to your mat. If that's not accessible to you, you can come into a camper pose, which just bends into that knee. Maybe the arms stretch out in front of you. Good, so Skandasana, you're gonna take your toes and point them up to the ceiling, your left toes. Maybe your hands come to heart center here. Good, little balancing challenge here. Good, and then either press up or press yourself up using your hands. We're gonna come up into star pose, extending our arms to the sky. Gaze maybe goes up. Good, then bringing hands to the hips, we're gonna turn our toes in and come into a wide-legged fold. So folding forward here, hinging from your hips, coming all the way down. Hands plant. Good, letting your head hang heavy. Good, and then we're gonna walk our hands over to the back foot. Good, stretching deeper through that back hamstring. And then we'll walk them over to the front foot. Stretching here. We'll pivot on that front foot now so it points toward the top of your mat. Plant your hands about 6 inches in front of your foot and lift that back leg up, coming into a standing split. You can use your blocks here if you want to. Hands can stay down. If you feel like you've got a little balance challenge in it for you, you maybe take your right hand to your leg, tenting your other fingers, or maybe both hands to your right leg, depending on where you're at today. Good, slowly lower that left foot down to meet your right. Breathe into half lift. Exhale, fold it forward. Good, bend into your knees and slowly roll up one vertebrae at a time. Head is the last thing to come up. Breathe and sweep your hands up and overhead. Exhale, hands through heart center. Good, breathe in and lift. We'll take a little side stretch here. Clasp your hands, index fingers pointing to the sky. Maybe lift your shoulders to your ears and then roll them all the way down. Good, breathe in. Exhale, side stretch over to the left. Good, breathe in, come back to center. Side stretch over to the right. Good, breathe and come back to center. And we'll swan dive here, hinging from your hips, folding forward over your legs. And breathe into half lift, hands to shins, flat back. Exhale, fold it on down. Good, bend into your knees, plant your hands, step your feet back. We'll come into a chaturanga here. You can drop your knees if you'd like, or slowly lower down, elbows pointing back. Lowering your chest halfway or all the way. Little cobra or up dog. And then slowly meeting back in down dog. And we'll take that on the other side. Good, breathe in this time, left foot sweeps up and back. Good, we'll rotate that ankle. And then we'll take a couple of crunches here. Breathe in, exhale, knee to nose. Breathe in, stretch it up and back. Good, breathe in, crunch. Exhale, stretch it up behind you. And then breathe in, step that left foot between your hands. Widen your stance for warrior one. Breathe in and lift up. Good, front knee right over the front ankle. Maybe gaze goes up to the sky. Good, your stance is wide enough so your hips can be open and pointing forward. Good, and then we'll take those hands behind our back, clasp your hands, drag them down your leg, open your heart, and then bend forward, maybe bringing those fists up to the sky. Left shoulder just inside the left knee. Humble warrior. Good, breathe and lift it back up. Exhale, humble. Good, breathe and come back up. Hands lift to the sky. And then we'll come into that skandasana or skater pose. So bending into your other knee this time, taking that back foot, lifting it up toward the sky if that's accessible to you. Otherwise, you're in kind of this camper pose, arms extending forward, front knee bent. Good, pausing here, little balancing challenge. That left foot doesn't have to touch, the heel doesn't have to touch the ground, but you can work toward that. You can work toward opening up that knee a little more, and maybe even releasing the sits bones closer to the ground. Good, breathe in, maybe press yourself up, or use your body to lift, coming into our star pose. Good, and then exhale, come back down to your camper or your skandasana. Good, breathe in, lift up one more time, star pose. And then we'll come into a wide-legged forward fold, turning those toes in, heels out, hinging from your hips, coming all the way down. Good, see if you can lean more toward your toes, lifting your sits bones up to the sky. Maybe you hold onto your legs, or maybe you take your hands and plant them, or even your forearms on the mat. We'll stay here for a moment. If anybody has a handstand or a forearm stand in their practice, feel free to move into that here. Good, for those of you that don't, maybe you stretch toward one leg and then the other. Just really experiencing being upside down. Good, and then walk, if you were walking over to one leg, then walk over to the other one. Taking deep breaths here. Good, slowly walk back to your front leg. Pivot those toes to point toward your top of your mat. Good, and then we're gonna step that foot up, coming into our standing split. Good, kicking it up, maybe supporting yourself with blocks or challenging yourself, tenting your fingers, or maybe even letting go of the mat, holding onto your ankle. If you don't have it today, that's totally okay. Good, one more deep breath in. Exhale, lower that foot down. Right foot meets left. Breathe into half lift. Exhale to fold. Slowly roll up one vertebrae at a time. Breathe in, hands reach up and overhead. Exhale through heart center. Good, we'll come into chair pose now. So feet are either parallel to one another or toes are together, heels slightly apart. We're gonna shift our hips all the way back and then lift our arms up so that they're close to our ears. Good, sit back as far as you can and see if you can see your toes peeking out from under your knees. Maybe you take this opportunity to wiggle your toes a little bit. Try to energetically squeeze your thighs together. Really engage your core, maybe sit back a little deeper. Good, deep breath in. Deep breath out. Good, we'll bring hands to heart center and come into a little prayer twist. We'll take our right elbow outside our left knee, turning to the left. Deep breath in. Deep breath out. Deep breath in. And deep breath out. Good, breathe in, come back to center. And then take that left elbow outside right knee, twisting your torso, detoxing the body. One more deep breath in, and deep breath out. Good, breathe in, come back to center. And then we'll slowly lower our hands to the mat, extend through your legs. We're gonna heel toe our feet as wide as the mat. And then toes pointing a little out, heels in. We're gonna squat down, coming into Malasana. Good, if that doesn't work for you, you can also use the camper version like this, just bending into the knees, extending your legs forward. Good, otherwise maybe you bring your elbows inside your knees. You can always use a block here to support yourself if this is too challenging. Good, couple breaths here. Good, maybe coming back to our intention to breathe in whatever goodness you can see and find, and exhale with happiness and smiles and joy. Good, and then we'll slowly lower down. We'll come into Navasana, boat pose, bringing your sits bones to the middle of your mat and bringing your toes in front of you. Come up onto the toes, lifting the heels a little bit. Maybe start with bringing your hands behind your thighs. You can extend one toe and then the other, if that is where you're at. You can extend both so your shins are parallel. If you are okay on your back, you can lift your arms up and overhead. I just encourage you that if this hurts your back in any way, always come back here. It's better to be safe. Good, and then if you want the full version of the pose, extending legs, arms. Good, deep breath in. If you're shaking, it's working. You can tell my voice, I am. Good, couple breaths here. Deep breath in, deep breath out. One more, deep breath in, deep breath out. Good, slowly lower your legs down. Maybe give yourself a little hug. And then we'll just cross our legs, roll over into hands and knees, and come back into down dog for our next flow. Breathe in and lift your sits bones to the sky. Good, pedal out your feet one more time. And then starting with your right leg, lift it up to the sky. Exhale, bring that foot between your hands. We'll come into warrior two this time. So front foot dissects the back middle foot. Cartwheel your arms up. Arms are parallel to the earth. Gaze is over your right middle fingers. Knee is right above the ankle. Torso straight up and down. Good, deep breath in. And deep breath out. One more deep breath in. And deep breath out. Good, reverse your warrior, left hand down, right hand up to the sky. 2 breaths here. Feel that nice stretch in your right side body. Good, can you sink a little deeper? Good, and then on your next in-breath, side angle, right forearm to right thigh, fingers to a block or all the way down to your ankle, left arm up to the sky. Good, stacking shoulder over shoulder. Remember, your skull is just an extension of your spine, so try not to drop your head or try to lift it up. Just let it be your chin kind of centered right over your sternum. Good, one more deep breath in and deep breath out. Good, breathe in, reverse your warrior again. Left hand down, right hand to the sky. Straighten through that front leg, reverse triangle. Good, and then bring your arms parallel to the earth. Leave your legs where they are. Good, extend your right arm as far forward as you can, shifting your left hip back, and then tick-tock your arms, triangle pose. Really press into that right big toe for additional balance. Maybe that right hand comes inside your leg. Maybe it reaches all the way to the floor, maybe to a block. Good, feel that nice stretch through your hip. Good, breathe in, bend into that front knee, come back to warrior two. Good, and then we'll cartwheel our hands down, frame our front foot, pivot on the back foot, plant that left hand, right hand lifts up to the sky for a twist. Good, deep breath in. Exhale, float that right hand down. Step your foot back and take your chaturanga, knees down or not, cobra or up dog, meeting back in down dog. Good, breathing in. Connecting to your breath. Slowing it down a moment. And then we'll move on to the other side. So left leg lifts up to the sky. Exhale, plant your foot between your hands. Pivot on that back foot, cartwheel up, warrior two. Gazes over your left middle fingers. Good, sink a little bit deeper into that leg if you can. Good, deep breath in. Deep breath out. Good, breathe in, reverse your warrior, left hand up, right hand down. Gaze goes to the sky. 2 breaths here. On your next breath in, side angle, hand to the floor, or forearm to thigh, right arm up to the sky. Good, stacking shoulder over shoulder. Deep breath in, deep breath out. Good, reverse your warrior again. Left hand up, right hand down. And then straighten through that front leg, reverse triangle. Really press into that left big toe for balance. Good, and then bring your arms parallel. Shift your right hip back, left arm reaches forward, and then tick-tock your arms, triangle pose. Good, really try to get those shoulders stacked one on top of the other. Top hand is pointing away from you, the palm of the hand like you're gonna give somebody a high five. One more deep breath in, and deep breath out. Bend into that front knee, warrior two. Good, breathe in, and then cartwheel the hands down. Right hand plants, left hand lifts. Little twist. Exhale, lower that left hand down. Your chaturanga, step that foot back. Cobra or up dog. And meeting back in down dog. Good, deep breath in. And deep breath out. Good, bend into your knees, either walk or hop to the top of your mat. Breathe into half lift. Exhale to fold. Bend into the knees and slowly roll up one vertebrae at a time. Good, breathe in, hands lift to the sky, gaze goes up. Exhale through heart center. Good, we'll take a little balancing challenge here. So grounding into our right foot, coming up onto the ball of the left. We'll pivot that knee to the outside and then lift that leg up into our Vrikshasana tree pose. Maybe just to the calf. Maybe you want to reach down, pull it all the way up to your thigh. Maybe hands stay at heart center. Maybe they lift and you grow your branches. Good, I like to really engage my core here. Try to find a place in the room that's not moving to fix your gaze on. Good, and if this is too easy for you, a couple of ideas. One, lift your gaze to the ceiling. Two, close your eyes. Three, purposely sway. Anytime we challenge ourselves even more, we build those little muscles in our ankle here that help us maintain and gain even more balance in the future. Good, one more breath here, and then slowly lower down. And shake out that right leg, and we'll take that on the other side. Ground into your left foot, up onto the ball of the right. Pivot that knee out to the side, and then take that leg wherever you like. Good. Maybe you try a different arm pose, maybe something like cactus. Maybe you flap your arms. Maybe go up and down. Good. Don't forget to find that place that's not moving in the room, not me, somewhere else. And then just focus. Maybe come back to our mantra here. Try to relax the mind. Breathing in the goodness of yoga, this pose. Not beating yourself up, but smiling and laughing about whatever, wherever you're at today. Good, one more breath in. And exhale, lower it down. Good, we'll shake out our legs again. We'll do one more fun and challenging maybe warrior pose, warrior three. If you have blocks and you know you need a little support, you might want them kind of in front of you so that you can place your hands on them. Good, we'll ground into the left foot and we'll slowly lift our right foot up and behind us, pointing the toes down the whole time. So flexing through that foot, hinging gently forward. If you need to, reach for your blocks. If you want to, extend your arms out like Superman or extend them behind you. Again, this is all about play and having fun, smiling and enjoying it like you're a kid again. Nobody's looking at you. Good, one more deep breath in. Deep breath out. Slowly come on up. Good, and we'll try that on the other side. Grounding into the right foot this time. Good, bringing your hands in a different place or wherever you feel most comfortable. Hinging forward, lifting that back leg up. Have those toes pointing down to keep your hips a little squared. Good, just going as far as you can, using the props as you need to. And if you fall out, just get right back into it. Good. Couple breaths here. One more deep breath in. Exhale, lower that foot, come back up. Good, breathe in and take your hands up and overhead. Exhale, swan dive forward. Good, breathe into half lift, hands to shins, flat back. Exhale, fold it on down. Good, we'll plant our hands here. We'll step back, take a chaturanga, slowly lowering down. Good, rolling forward or coming into your cobra. And bringing the knees down, we'll take another child's pose to come back to our breath. Pressing the hips back to the heels or onto a block. Forehead comes down to the mat. Maybe give yourself a little massage by rolling your head to one side and then to the other. Good, deep breath in. Deep breath out. One more deep breath in. And deep breath out. Good, breathe in and slowly lift up to tabletop. And we'll take one more flow here until we take it all the way to the mat for good. Lift your hips up to the sky. Good, breathe in and sweep that right foot up and back. Exhale, step it through between your hands. Good, take that back foot and plant it. Maybe bring your blocks nearby. We're gonna come into pyramid pose here. Good, so toes are pointing forward like they're on skis. Hips are pointing forward and squared with the mat. And then you're bending over that front leg, hinging from your hips. Maybe block support your hands. Maybe the hands come all the way down. That is awfully loud, isn't it? Sorry about that. Okay. Okay, sorry about that. Maybe the hands come down around the ankle or just support the ankle by standing nearby. Maybe the hands wrap around the back leg and you find, again, a little balancing challenge here. Good, this is a great stretch for your hamstrings. Great pose for if you have any kind of sciatica issues. Good, try it, let your head relax. Good, deep breath in and deep breath out. One more, deep breath in and deep breath out. Good, we'll plant our hands now, framing that front foot, bend into that front knee, and then we're gonna come into a half moon, full version. Maybe you use a block, take it about 6 to 8 inches off the corner of your right foot, and then press off that back leg, plant your hand on the block, or just let it hang, lifting that left arm up to the sky, extending that left leg, flexing through that left foot. Good, that left hand is lifted, palm facing away, again, like you're gonna high five somebody. And you're trying to turn your torso to face the left side of the room. Good, and that leg can be as high or as low as feels comfortable to you at this point. Good, deep breath in. And deep breath out. Good, we'll slowly lower that foot down, bending into the front knee. And we're gonna plant it right behind our front heel, and we'll come into warrior two. Good, breathe in, reverse your warrior, left hand down, right hand up. Exhale, side angle, right forearm to thigh or left hand to the sky. Good, we'll flow that a couple times. Reverse your warrior and side angle. And one more. Reverse your warrior and side angle. Good, we're gonna drop that left hand down now. Plant the hand, pivot on the back foot. Sweep that right hand up to the sky. Little twist again. Exhale, bring that hand down. Plant it, frame your foot, step that foot back. Chaturanga. Cobra or up dog. And then back to our down dog. Good, we'll do that same thing now, just stepping that left foot forward, coming into our pyramid pose. Feet are on skis. Maybe the blocks are helpful. Don't be surprised if this leg is entirely different. That might mean adjusting the blocks to a lower level, or maybe you find a little bit more balance, or maybe less. Good, maybe wrap the hands behind your back leg. Good, feeling that nice stretch. If you need to, put a little bend in that front knee. Otherwise, try to keep it straight, but don't overextend it by locking it out. Good, deep breath in. And deep breath out. One more. Deep breath in. And deep breath out. Good, plant those hands. Step that back foot so that it's gonna line up with the front. And then cartwheel up to warrior two. Good, breathe and reverse your warrior. Exhale, side angle. And we'll flow this just a couple of times. Breathe and reverse. Exhale, side angle. And one more. Sorry, now the music's gone. Breathe in reverse. And exhale, side angle. Good, drop that right hand down. Frame your foot. Step that left foot back. And take your chaturanga. Last one of the day. Up dog. Good, and then back to down dog. Good, we're gonna come back to hands and knees. And we're gonna take a little flowing cat-cow, kind of making a figure eight with our body. So you might want your knees a little wider than you normally do. Good, and then we're gonna take the left hip back to the left heel, and then float it over to the right heel, and then come up so that your left shoulder is right over your wrist, and then sway that over to the right, and kind of make this figure eight with your body, coming into this motion of a figure eight. And I encourage you to close your eyes and then just start to feel the movement and take whatever move your body is encouraging you to take. So you could maybe come to just cat-cows, or maybe keep going with the figure eights, or maybe you shift your hips and leave your arms stagnant, or whatever feels kind of good in this moment. Maybe you drop your head. Maybe you roll all the way into cobra if you didn't get enough. Good, just play with the movement here. Flowing for your body, focusing in on your breath. And if you're continuing to do figure eights, then try to do it in the opposite direction. Good, just a couple more breaths here. Good. One more deep breath in. Maybe we find some stillness. And exhale. Good. We'll cross our ankles behind us and come to seated now. We're going to come into Janu Shirshasana, taking that right foot to the left inner thigh, extending through that left leg, flexing through that foot so toes are pointing up to the ceiling, and then pivot your whole body to face that extended leg. Breathe in and sweep your hands up and overhead. And then exhale, reach forward, not trying to touch your head to your leg, but think about extending your forehead all the way to your toes. So really lengthening through your spine. And however far you can come down doesn't matter, but it's just about giving yourself a nice deep stretch here. A deep breath in. Deep breath out. And deep breath in. And deep breath out. Good, one more. And we'll slowly walk the hands up the leg. We're going to keep that right knee bent and just point the knee up to the ceiling. We'll wrap our left arm around that knee, put our fingers behind our sits bones, sit up nice and tall, and then twist to the right. Good, finding this nice twist through your torso, wringing out all your organs, bringing a fresh blood supply of oxygen. Good, and then slowly come back to center. We'll come into Heron pose. So we're going to bend into that left knee a little bit, reach for your ankle, your calf, or your foot, and we're going to lift that up to the sky. Good, and then you're just going to rock a little bit gently forward and back here. Good, you can keep a bend in that knee if you need to. Otherwise, extend through the leg, but don't overextend. Good, and then we'll slowly lower that foot down. Bending into that knee, we'll extend that right leg and come into Janu on the other side. Left foot to right inner thigh, flexing through that right foot so the toes point up to the ceiling. Breathe and extend your arms up, face your extended leg, and then fold forward. Really stretching through your lower back here, extending your head toward your toes. It's a nice pose to use blocks if you want to rest your forearms and just lessen the stretch in the upper body, getting it all in the lower body here. Good, couple deep breaths in, and deep breaths out. Really coming down now, relaxing your breath, relaxing your mind, maybe coming back to our mantra. We have to be aware and notice the goodness and breathe it in and make it a moment. Otherwise, all those good moments just pass away. Good, then slowly walking your hands up your leg, tip that left knee up to the sky, take that right arm around that leg and bring your left fingers behind you. Sit up nice and tall and then twist to the left. Good, feeling this nice stretch, maybe noticing the difference between now and the beginning of class. And then slowly come back to center. Reach for that shin or your ankle or your foot. Lift that right leg up just as much as you're able. Maybe rocking back and forth on your sits bones. Really letting your arms kind of be this guiding balance. Good, one more breath here. Good, and then we'll slowly lower that leg down. We'll take one more pose before we come into our final resting pose, Shavasana. Come into butterfly, taking the soles of our feet together. Good, maybe lifting your crown of your head up to the sky. I like to wrap my hands around my shins and really pull my shoulders back over my hips. And then if you want to, maybe hinge from your hips, lean forward, getting a deeper stretch through the hips. Good, deep breath in and deep breath out. One more deep breath in and deep breath out. Good, slowly rolling up one vertebrae at a time. We'll just extend those legs out in front of us. Maybe heels coming to the edges of your mat, feet falling open, and then lay yourself back on your mat. I'm going to extend those legs out in front of us. Maybe heels coming to the edges of your mat, feet falling open, and then lay yourself back on your mat. I'm going to turn the lights off completely so you can kind of come back to your breath. Feel the transformation of this practice. Bring hands to heart center and maybe bow your chin into your chest in honor of the beautiful spirit within. The light in me truly honors and respects the light in each one of you. Namaste.
And don't forget to subscribe to my channel for more free rooted yoga from JNC Better Living. Namaste. Thank you so much for joining me today. Comment below if there are areas that you'd like me to address in future yoga practices.